Look into your own heart. Discover what it is that has given you pain, and then refuse under any circumstances to inflict that pain on anybody else. And I think that's what religion should do. That's what I've found from my studies of religion. That's what they're all saying at base. And I've found that that has helped me. I'm Karen Armstrong. I'm a historian of religion, and I write about all religion. I left my religious order in 1969 when I was 24 years old. I'd been a nun for 7 years. There was a long period when I was suffering from an undiagnosed form of epilepsy. During that time, I learned what it was to be without hope, to feel that there was no future for me. I thought I was going to end up in the locked ward in a psychiatric unit. Then started learning about other world religions other than the Roman Catholicism in which I'd been reared, and that included Judaism and Islam. All the great world religions, without exception, including Islam, are based on a profound respect for the sacred rights of the individual, that human life is sacred, absolute, and inviolable. Any attempt to justify any kind of killing whatsoever is, in my view, a violation of religion. In terms of the high-level group, I think that my understanding of the religious impulse as it expresses itself in all the great world faiths is of value, plus my interest in the extremism that has developed in all the three of the religions of Abraham. So it's not, I don't see Islam in isolation. And I've studied the phenomena of the clash between modernity and all the major world faiths. Fundamentalism in every single one of the movements that I've studied in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is rooted in a profound fear. Every one of these movements is convinced that modern, secular, or liberal society wants to wipe them out. These fundamentalisms represent not a clash between civilizations, but a clash within civilizations. Fundamentalists always begin by attacking their own co-religionists and their own fellow countrymen, and only at a very secondary stage, if at all, do they turn against a foreign foe. Religious leaders should be guiding their flocks, giving them good, informed guidance away from the simple nihilistic answers of extremism. The vast majority of worshippers, whether they're Muslim or Christian, want nothing to do with extremism, of course, but they should be guided to be helped to see the other side in compassion. Every single one of the great world religions stresses the importance of what's been called the Golden Rule, first propounded by Confucius 500 years before Jesus. Do not do to others what you would not have done to you. In the West, for example, we're often hearing from our leaders that Muslims hate our freedom. They hate Western culture. Whereas Osama bin Laden has made it quite clear that if it was just Western freedom and liberalism or lax morality that he objected to, he would have been bombing Sweden or Amsterdam, not necessarily New York and London. Now, in the Muslim world, we have an image, a rather sort of blanket form of a godless West. Now, that's not true, because America is the second most religious country in the world after India. In the early 20th century, the peoples of the Muslim world were longing for democracy and representational government. But Western behavior, which has often supported extremely tyrannical rulers, such as Saddam Hussein, given democracy a very bad name. We have developed very, very skewed ideas of one another, and in both the West and Muslim world, we need to correct these narratives. And when our politicians tell us that they simply hate our freedom, for example, we need to say no and point out how we've got to this point. This has not come out of the blue through sheer atavistic ill will from a few disaffected terrorists. This has been a long historical process in the making, and that story has to be told too.